Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about frequently asked questions about becoming a medical biller. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. Full disclosure first, before I get into the topic. I am not a medical biller, nor have I done medical billing. However, I have been in the industry since 2008. I know a few things, I've been around, I've seen a few things happen, okay? So the things that I'm sharing today are some of the things that I know. So hopefully this will help you in your journey, and hopefully it will give you some kind of guidance as to what your options are. So let's dive into it. Okay, you want to be a medical biller. I will often get emails from people that said, Blue, I don't want to do anything with medical coding, but I want to be a medical biller. Here's the deal, guys. Even when you are a medical biller, you still need to know a little bit about the coding side. There are some things there are some things that do help you when you are on the medical billing side, that if you understand medical coding is going to make sense, right? Because there are going to be times when the insurance company may send something back to you and they say, we're rejecting it because of this reason or that reason. Okay, well, you're going to tell, and you try to tell the medical coder, okay, we'll change it to this. Here's the thing. The medical coder is the one that's supposed to understand and know the rules to medical coding and why, all right? And with medical billing, they are essentially working with the insurance company. They are working with the patients to collect the money and that kind of thing. So that is their wheelhouse, right? But when you are telling a medical coder, change it to this, all right, here's the thing. We have our reasons why. A good medical coder will explain to the medical biller why it is this way or that way if the medical coder feels that they are correct in their code selection. Sometimes things happen and medical coders will send something to the medical biller will send it off, it'll be rejected, it'll come back, and actually the insurance company was correct. It needs to be changed or whatever, what have you. So it does happen. But at the same time, working with the medical coder to understand why it was rejected, so that way you can kind of squash the problem while it is very small and not a big issue, is a good thing. So be willing to work with the medical coder, okay? Medical billing is not something that you typically go to school for. Yes, there are certifications for it. There's a couple of them out there. I'm not going to talk about them in specifics because I do not recommend any medical billing credential at all. Why? Why, Blue? Why don't you recommend a medical billing credential? I want to be a medical biller. I want to be educated enough to understand. Here's the deal. When you're looking at these medical billing job listings, it's not asking you to be certified at anything. Not in medical coding, not in medical billing. It is not asking for a certification at all, right? And so in my time of looking through medical billing job listings for my show, because I do my research for my show. Now, a lot of the things that I research and I look up is because I'm asking the question, and I want to be able to bring you guys very good and fluid information. And the only way to do that is to be able to do my research. And while I am not a medical biller, I do know these things because of my research, all right? So in looking at these job listings, what they're asking for is for you to be a high school graduate or have a GED. That is what they need. Because essentially, the process of doing medical billing, while it is very important, is a lot of the same. It is a lot of the same steps that you are doing to be able to send off the claims and that kind of thing, or be able to collect the money, or be able to post the money and that kind of thing. It is a lot of the same steps. The thought process side of the house, the abstracting side of the house comes from the medical coders, okay? So that is something that is completely different. Again, the medical biller wheelhouse is a lot of that same processing of the paperwork and that kind of thing. It is very important, but at the same time, you don't have to be certified for it. Please don't waste your money on things that you don't have to have in order to get into this career field. I know many very successful medical billers who do not have a certification at all. They have their own businesses and they're very successful. So with this in mind, okay, then why would anybody need to be able to get certified for that? when you are getting a certification that you don't need, by the way, when you get the certification, you still have to be able to maintain it with continuing education units. And if your employer does not offer those as a benefit of employment, you are on your own to be able to get these. The cost of medical continuing education units, I'll get it together, guys. The cost of continuing education units can vary from free to a lot of money. So it really all depends. There are free continuing education units out there. However, you do have to do your research. It's inevitable. I'll get the email. Well, Blue, where can I find free continuing education units? I will tell you this. You can look on sites like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great social network for professionals. When you get on there, you will see lots and lots of medical coders, medical billers. You will see lots of people that are in this industry. And with that, you can see that there are lots of them there's lots of postings about free continuing education units all the time. So if you want to take advantage of that, by all means do. But I'm just saying that if you are looking to be a medical biller, again, apply. You don't have to have experience a lot of times because they are willing to train you. Yes, sometimes in some job listings, you will see that they will ask the candidate to have a year of experience, must have a year of experience. It doesn't mean that you still can't apply anyway. It doesn't mean that you don't have transferable skills that would make you a great medical biller. If you have experience working in a warehouse, right, and you did a lot of the billing for this warehouse, or you did a lot of the billing for wherever you worked at, that is a good transferable skill to have that'll segue right into medical billing. So that is something that you can think about. It's not just about, I need to have medical billing experience. It is about being able to say, okay, well, I have experience working in a warehouse. I did a lot of the billing for them. That way I collected the money and that kind of thing. This can easily transition over to the medical billing side of the house. I'm just saying, guys, you have to think and be creative, and you have to be very stubborn if this is what you want to do. Because sometimes people will say, I want to do this so that I can have my own business, my own medical billing business. If you want to have your own medical billing business, great. Congratulations. Here's the thing. Get experience first. Don't just go to a course and get a certification in medical billing and then think you can be a medical biller out there in the world. Get experience first. Go and apply for a job, work for that job, see how these things go. Then when you feel like you are ready, then by all means, go out and strike out on your own. But don't try to become a medical biller right out of the gate with your own business because you think you can do this. There's a lot of things and a lot of detail into being a medical biller. And now you are working with people's money. You are working with doctors' money. So that's the kind of thing that you need to keep in mind if you are wanting to do this. Is it very lucrative? Of course. But at the same time, you want to be able to be doing this appropriately, accurately, correctly, because people have gone into bankruptcy because medical billing, right? Medical bills and that kind of thing. Medical, any kind of thing with medical, they've gone into bankruptcy before because of it. So make sure that you fully understand what you're doing before you get into this industry and before you want to start your own business, okay? So that's why I say working under an employer first and being able to know and understand and grow with that employer and be able to know the ins and outs of medical billing before you strike out on your own is the best recipe for success on your part, okay? Now, the other question I'll get is, Blue, what are some of the resources that I can use to learn medical billing from a book? I will put some medical reimbursement books in that I recommend in the description box. There are Amazon affiliate links. You don't have to click on the links, but the title is there, so that way you can check it out on your own. There's lots of places where you can get cheaper books. You can also Google for medical reimbursement, medical billing reimbursement books, okay? And you want books that are published, you know, not too long ago. Maybe a couple of years ago would be fine. But you want things that are going to be after 2015, obviously, because that is when ICD-10 kicked in. So you'll be able to see a lot of those updated rules, right? But you want something that it has been published recently. So That way you're getting the latest information. You can also go to cms.gov. That's the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Now, this website is going to have a lot of really good and valuable resources. The Medicare Learning Network is on this website. Now, with the Medicare Learning Network, you'll be able to learn about what the thought process is with the surgery, the global surgery days, and what does that mean. It's very important, especially if you are doing the billing, that you understand what global days means, okay? What does the global surgery package mean? And you can find all of those free downloadable resources on the CMS website at cms.gov. I will leave that link in the description box below. Also, if you are wanting to learn about the different major insurances, you can check their websites out. And they have information on there. So that way you can get familiar with Aetna or, Humana or whoever you want to get familiar with, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Go ahead and look at those if that's what you want to do. But again, I recommend applying for these jobs in medical billing, getting your foot in the door, and then seeing who you need to get familiar with. So that way you can start to get yourself familiar in that process of doing your research. Medical billing is about doing your research as well, because you want to be able to catch those things that may be being denied, but is it a legitimate denial, right? Is it a legitimate reason that they're being denied for this claim or that claim or whatever, what have you? Make sure that you're staying on top of those, the recent rules and guidelines and things like that. It does help to read the official coding guidelines that are put out every year. So make sure that you do that, so that way you can see that what you're pushing through and what is being put through is actually correct. Just because you are the biller and the coder is the one who assigned the codes is not your responsibility. It is ultimately your responsibility, especially when you're submitting that to the insurance company for payment. So make sure that you are getting yourself as educated as you possibly can, and it's with these free resources that you can find this stuff out. Again, cms.gov, going to the Medicare Learning Network. So that will be a really great start to helping you. But yes, just apply for these medical billing positions. And my advice is you don't need to go through these medical billing credential programs if you want to be a medical biller. Because again, every place is going to be different. And they are going to train you on the job 9 times out of 10, okay? So my advice is to look at the job postings, so that way you can see, and that way you can know if that is something that you really want to do. And then if later on you decide that I've been doing medical billing for a while, but I really kind of want to get into the coding part, the coding side of the house. That's great, because now you're coming in there with that billing knowledge, and that is going to look really good on your resume. So that when you do go to school for medical coding and you pass and you get your certification, you will be able to marry that stuff up and put it on your resume and be good to go. So that is my advice anyway. But yes, if you are wanting to be a medical biller, do your research as far as these insurance companies, apply for these jobs, and get out there and see if that's really what you like and what you want to do. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye.